You ever watch a man slowly die with a smile on his face? He's the one carrying the groceries, fixing the Wi-Fi, nodding through arguments. He's sitting across from a woman who used to scream his namino. She barely acknowledges his presence. And the saddest part? He thinks he's doing the right thing, being patient, being mature, being what she said she wanted, but really, he's disappearing one "I'm sorry" at a time. One "it's fine" at a time. One fake smile at a time. And the cruelest truth? He signed up for it. Now let me ask the question. No man says out loud, why do women never seem to want what they say they want? They ask for sensitivity but chase the man who treats them like a meeting on his calendar. They talk about equality but crave dominance. They say, "I want a nice guy," and ghost him the second he starts listening. Schopenhauer called this a biological paradox. I call it crucifixion because men are being nailed to expectations that were never real to begin with. And here's the catch. She's not lying. She's not evil. She just doesn't know. What she says she wants comes from culture. What she responds to comes from instinct. And instinct doesn't care about good morning texts or loyalty. Nature didn't build her to want submission. Nature built her to desire survival. And survival doesn't fall for soft, predictable, always available men. Think your love will override millions of years of evolutionary wiring? Think again. She doesn't want your love. She wants your gravity. She wants to feel pulled into something strong, certain, unmoved. If you become too predictable, too accommodating, too emotional, she won't hate you. She'll just lose all interest. Schopenhauer didn't sugarcoat it. He wrote, "Love with women remains a matter of the will of nature." Translation? You can't logic your way into her heart. You can't explain yourself into desire. Nature uses disinterest as a weapon. It filters men not through violence, but silence. She doesn't need to hurt you. She just stops laughing at your jokes. Her eyes stop lighting up. And you blame yourself. You become more romantic, more agreeable, more emotionally open. And that, my brother, is when you walk yourself into the slaughterhouse wearing a suit of sincerity. The more you try to be the man she said she wanted, the more you lose the edge of the man her instincts need. That edge, that's not cruelty. It's not manipulation. It's not even dominance. It's self-respect, purpose, strength, boundaries. The version of you she worshipped, that wasn't the one begging to keep her. It was the man who didn't need her, but chose her. It was the man with focus, the man with solitude. The man who, as Schopenhauer said, can only truly be himself when alone. And that's what most men have forgotten. Freedom. Today's man rents his emotions out to the moods of a woman who doesn't even respect him anymore. And when her respect is gone, your kingdom becomes a daycare. She tells you, you've changed. Number, you softened. And nature does not reward softness without strength. Here's the truth you need to hear. You can't negotiate attraction. You can't earn desire with loyalty. You can't beg for the throne you used to sit on. You were taught to listen to her words. But her words are often lies she doesn't even know she's telling. Not because she's manipulative, but because her biology speaks a different language. When she said, "I want vulnerability," she didn't mean you should cry on command. She meant she wants a man who has mastered his chaos, not one who collapses into it. And if you've ever been dumped after giving her everything, it's not because you weren't good enough. It's because you gave too much and lost your core. You became the mud, not the mountain. You stopped being the challenge and became the comfort. And comfort without strength becomes background noise. You remember the first time she looked at you, like you were a god, not just cute or divine. That look, it was real. That moment, it was sacred. And when it faded, you didn't change for the worse. You became more loving, more available. But that's why it faded. You became her mirror, not her man. You think you lost her because you weren't enough. But the truth is she felt too safe. And safety, without polarity, is death to desire. That's why you see women fall for men who don't even try. You call him toxic. You call her confused. But what you're seeing is biology at work. She's not choosing based on who's nicest. She's drawn to power, presence, energy. Because effort is transactional. Energy is magnetic. Schopenhauer said, The sexual impulse is the purest expression of the will to live. It's not rational. It doesn't care about your empathy or your perfectly written texts. It wants force, not aggression. Direction, not control. Certainty. So if you're bleeding out from giving everything and getting nothing, it's not because you failed. It's because you obeyed the wrong rules. You believed her instructions instead of reading her energy. When she said, "Open up," you thought she wanted your diary. What she needed was your emotional leadership, a man who can feel deeply but doesn't fall apart from it. She doesn't want to be your therapist. She wants to be swept into your gravity. And when she checks out, she doesn't make a scene. She just stops laughing, stops texting, stops initiating. You think it's peace. It's a funeral. This is when most men panic, buy more gifts, plan more dates. But the game was over weeks ago. You were just too devoted to notice. You lost her because you became her echo. And no woman stays attracted to an echo. So what do? You resurrect yourself. You stop chasing. You stop explaining. You stop asking for permission to lead. And you say to yourself, "I would rather be alone than unseen." That's the rebirth. That's the rite of passage. Because when you rediscover your power, your edges, your center, women feel it before you say a word. You don't have to seduce. You just have to be. And suddenly, she wants answers. She wants presence. She wants you. But now you're not bending for her approval. You're choosing your kingdom. The biggest lie ever sold to men. That if you love her harder, deeper, more purely, she'll love you back. That if you just prove your loyalty, she'll see your worth. But it doesn't work like that. Not in nature, not in biology. She didn't leave because you were unlovable. She left because you were too predictable, too tame, too nice. She says, "I don't know what happened. I just stopped feeling it." Translation: you let me lead. And she doesn't want to lead. She wants to surrender, but only to a man who knows where he's going without needing to ask her for directions. Schopenhauer said it best. A man who is not master of himself is not fit to be master of anything. You were not born to beg. You were not born to chase. You were born to build. Let her test you. Let her walk away. Let her disappear. Either she rises to meet you or she proves she never could. But either way, you win. If this lit a fire in you, like, share, and subscribe. Support the channel. This movement is for men ready to reclaim the thrones they never should have left. Your crown isn't lost. It's just been waiting. Now go sit on it.